mask, then people will think, oh, he's got it together. He's not lonely at all. And we lose our way of dealing with it in good ways. The big idea here is that the Christian walk was never meant to be done alone. It was not meant to be done alone. If you have this mentality in your head that you have to grow on your own, that you have to worship, oh, I worship on my own. If you're going to help people, but only at arm's length, you can keep them out there, you have the wrong idea of what the Christian journey is all about. When Adam was on this earth, God said it's not good that he be alone. And not long after he was made, he was matched. God said, you need a partner. You need someone to walk through life with. And that's where the text takes us next. Partners. But before we jump too quickly, I want to just pause a second here. What if that's still us? What if we're just really lonely? And we put that mask up inside. That hurts. I don't want to run too quickly by that. And I want to look at it, and I want to say this from two sides. There are things that our God is going to do, and it is His responsibility. That He knows us better than we know ourselves, and He loves us so deeply. And He knows what we need. And that will come about in His timing. And there's other things that we need to do. There's great mountaintops and there's great valleys, and there's some things that we need to do to be, to find those partners, those deeper friendships. And we'll talk about those later. But I want to make sure that you don't leave here without knowing that our God loves you even in the midst of our loneliness. He is always there. I don't want you to leave here without knowing that. Our story starts with a picture of depression, of loneliness. But it doesn't stick there. It goes on. Let's read on in Ecclesiastes 4. Two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and there is no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Now, I'm going to use the term partner today. I'm going to use it pretty freely, but I want to make sure that we don't look at it as only exclusively for marriage partners. That's helpful for you guys, right? You're so, whew, I'm good. All right. Cadets are good, not with the marriage partners. A spouse should definitely be your partner. That's that person that you have chosen to grow together with. You have let that person be a part of your life. But a partner is exactly that. This is a person that you have allowed into your life, in your heart. You've let them in because it's a choice. We are committed to partners. And a partner is committed to you to help you grow. Even with all the dark little secrets in that closet of your heart, they're still committed to you. Having a partner or a deeper friendship is better. And here, from the text today, we're going to jump into a couple different ways that this is better. Far beyond anything we can imagine of being loneliness, partners are better. And here's a couple ideas. They have a good return. They have a good return. There's a synergistic element of partners. There's more return for the effort. When I go to the health club, to the Y, I can get that curl bar, and I can do 35 pounds. And it's true. It's true. I can do that, right? And I'll be working out with 35, right? But if I want to use both arms, my right and my left arm. At the same time, I can get that long bar, and I can do more than twice that much. I don't know how that works. I don't. But it's a synergistic effort there. The right hand working with the left, and they're both working to get twice the return. That's a great return. Partners are like the right and the left hand working together. That's a great return for the effort. Here's another idea from the text. To help that person up. We need that. In my head, when I was working through this, I had this idea of that classic commercial from Life Call. And this lady is laying on the ground and her walker's up and she's going, I've fallen and I can't get up. And I couldn't get that out of my head. But that's the picture of our need for help. Who's to help that person? Who do you call when you need help? You call that deep friendship, that partner. Hopefully I can get that idea out of my head now. Just get that out. Here's another idea. The idea of warmth. And this one was a little tricky in our culture. This is just a little tricky verse where also if two lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And let me assure you, just because you have a partner, a deeper friendship does not mean that you have to have sleepovers together. If you want to, that's fine. But it's not necessity there. The bigger idea is one to do with comfort. Comfort. We go to the nursing home once in a while, and there are people there that love to play cards together. They will play cards all the time. They love hanging out together. And it is that warmth, comforting relationship they have built up over the years that makes their time together so worthwhile. They love being together, the warmth of relationship that they get. The other side of that is sometimes your partner needs to turn up the heat a little bit on us. They need to ask you some things that might not be so comfortable. They need to ask those questions of, so why are you doing this? What's your purpose here? Is that good for you? Or maybe, I don't see it as being good. Can you help me out here? Sometimes to turn up the heat so that it's not so comfortable. It's not written in the text that way, but that's an important thing. Friendships that are that deep, partners, they do that. Here's another one. Defense. There's a comfort in knowing that someone's got your back. There's a comfort in that. It doesn't matter if it's on the playground when you're sticking up to a bully, someone who's yelling at you. Doesn't matter if it's in the boardroom when you have somebody else who's backing up your proposals. It doesn't matter whether it's a marriage when you know you're not in it alone all by yourself. There is great comfort knowing that there is someone who's got your back, that there is somebody who's defending you as a person. Here's a last one from the text. One of unity. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. And right away, we always go, oh, this is a marriage thing. This is the marriage verse. I didn't want to ask how many people use this as their verse, but that's all right. It works pretty nicely with that, but that's not the main idea here that Solomon was going for. The idea was much more about unity. About unity. I think this is the one that's toughest for me to grasp, or it was toughest. Because I grew up in a very Dutch, very Christian Reformed, very family-oriented community. And if you are not wanting more strands of people in your life looking out after you, this is just craziness for you. For example, I'll just give a wild example, one that I only had little ideas of. If there was a girl that you just said, wow, she is amazing, I want to get to know her better, right? You couldn't bring her to church right away because you're halfway to the altar. If you go to church with that girl, they're like, well, you got rings picked out and stuff like that. You can't do that. You can't bring her over to grandma's house